Hello buddies, this is Chandra Tiwari and I am presenting my second video to you, that is for class 10 second poem, that is Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. And in the first poem also we have discussed about the poet, that he was a famous American poet who has written many great literary works. In this poem, the poet has given a clear-cut message that the world will come to an end one day. Every one of us know that where there is a beginning, there has to be an end. So the world which exists today will come to an end someday. But how it will come to an end? There are two beliefs of different people. So the poet has described about two different kind of belief about the destruction of the world, or you can say annihilation. Annihilation means the process of the world coming to an end. So we will discuss line by line. Then I will also highlight rhyming scheme of the poem. Then I will try to explain all literary devices that has been used in the poem. So first of all, Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. The poem has been written in two stanzas. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. First stanza that consists of 4 lines. Let's discuss first line. Some say the world will end in fire. As in the beginning itself, I had described that there are two divided opinions about the destruction of the world, how the world will come to an end. The first belief, there are one kind of people who believe that the world will come to an end due to fire. There will be some kind of fire which will bring destruction for the whole world. Then nothing is going to survive after that destruction of the world. So there are one section of the people who believe that the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. Two different kind of beliefs. First kind of people, they believe that the world will end in fire. There are another section of people who believe that the world will come to an end with the help of ice. It means ice will be the cause of the destruction of the world. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. The poet is favoring those people who believe that the world will come to an end due to fire. The poet is favoring those people. That's why the poet is saying, from what I have tasted of desire. This is a very important line of the poem, that from what I have tasted of desire. It means the poet supports them, the poet favors them who believe that the world will come to an end due to fire. Fire is something which indicates that there will be excessive desire of the people, which will bring destruction to the world. There will be excessive passion of the people, which will bring destruction of the world. Excessive desire will cause destruction of the world. Now let's look at the second stanza. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. In the second stanza, the poet is saying that if perish means to cause destruction, the poet is thinking that if the world has to perish twice, it means if it has to be destroyed twice. In the first chance, it will be destroyed by fire. On the other hand, if it had to perish twice, if it will be destroyed for the second time, it will be perished by ice. Ice is something which is the symbol of hatred. There will be so much hatred, enmity and revenge among the people that will cause destruction of the world. So the poet is thinking that the ice, that is the symbol of hatred among people, will cause the destruction of the world. To say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. The poet believes that the ice is sufficient to bring destruction of the world. It means on the one hand, there are one section of people who believe that the world will be destroyed by the fire, that is a symbol of passion and excessive desire. There are another section of the people who believe that the world will come to an end with the help of ice. Ice is something which is the symbol of hatred and enmity among the people. There will be so revenge among the people. There will be so enmity among the people that they will kill each other and the world will come to an end. So there are two thoughts about the destruction of the world. First is related with fire. Second is related with these two things, fire and ice. They appear to be contradictory. Fire is symbol of something, ice is symbol of something, and these symbols will cause destruction of the world, and the world will come to an end. So the poet has given a clear-cut message that if the world will end, these things, if we don't want the world to be destroyed, we need to cut down these things. We need to cut down excessive passion and desire. We need to cut down revenge, enmity, greed. These are the things that should be curtailed so that we could save the world from getting destroyed. Now let's talk about the rhyme scheme of the poem. Some say the world, first line fire, second line ice, third desire. First line rhymes with desire, second line ice. So the rhyme scheme of the poem is A B, fire, desire and fire. A and ice, that is B. In the second stanza, rhyme scheme goes like this: twice ice, B, hate, great, C, again suffice, twice ice, suffice, B, then hate and great, C. So the entire rhyming scheme of the poem is A B, then BC, B. Now let's talk about the figure of speech, which is a very important part of the poem. First is assonance. Then you must be knowing what's an assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sound in a sentence. In the first sentence you can say, some say the world will end in fire. Repetition of O sound in this line is a clear-cut indication that assonance has been used in this line. Second is alliteration. I hold with those who favor fire. Repetition of if, that's a consonant sound. Alliteration is something which is repetition of consonant sound in any given sentence. So favor fire, if and if. This is an indication that alliteration has been used in this line. Now second is imagery. So imagery means something, when we find something, we come to know some kind of image is created in our mind. To say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Some say the world will end in fire. This is the line which tells us that creates a certain kind of image in our mind that there will be a certain kind of destruction. So imagery has been used in the first line. Then symbolism. Fire and ice have been used as a symbol of hatred and passion. Personification. Fire and ice, these two unanimate objects have been used as persons, which are supposed to bring destruction to the whole world. So personification, figure of speech has been used here. Now the theme of the poem is age-old question, that is about annihilation, means the world will come to an end, and two different kind of beliefs are prevailing. The world will come to an end, it's quite certain, because where there is beginning, there has to be an end. If the world will end, the question is that how it will come to an end, whether it will be destroyed by fire or by ice. The question remains unanswered. So the poet is favoring those who favor fire. That's the end of the poem. I hope you must have enjoyed. Thank you.